Support this podcast via our Patreon and get more writerly goodness. Visit patreon.com/nanocast to join up.
Welcome to NaNoWriMo Every Month. My name is J. Daniel Sawyer. I'm the author of some 20 books, 34 short stories, and numerous articles and other things, and I am your guide on this journey to use NaNoWriMo to level up to professional output levels. Welcome to The Questions, Episode 75. Well, it's time to start recording a new block of NaNoWriMo every month. This episode has a question, but way at the end because it's a very, very quick question, and I wanted to update you guys on what is going on around here. First off, the special episode that I posted a while back called Business 101 has evolved into an actual book or a booklet that you can get in ebook form on Amazon and Smashwords and every other place in the world, and will very quickly also be available as a paperback. I consulted with a couple other professionals that are way beyond me, and they gave me some ideas for how to structure the content for a book, and so with some restructuring, it turned out to expand quite a lot. So that covers a lot of ground about making the shift from being an employee to being a business person. If you found that episode interesting, useful, or provocative but not conclusive, you're going to want to pick up this book. It's called The Everyday Novelist, Business 101 by J. Daniel Sawyer, and there's going to be a link in the show notes today. So go to nanowrimoeverymonth.com and you'll be able to get a link to the book. You may find it useful. Of course, those of you who are supporting us via the Patreon at the right level, and thank you for supporting via the Patreon, have already gotten a copy of this book, so you know. And speaking of the Patreon people, you guys are fantastic. There's 6 of you now. And I can't wait till there's more of you, because we're stacking up some interesting rewards to drop here over the next couple of months. Thank you very much to authors and frequent questioners like Benjamin Sawyer, John Kilgalon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, John, Melisa Todd, Chuck Heinzelman, Timothy Niederritter, and Dave Wheeler. And by the way, if you are thinking of supporting on the Patreon but don't want to be embarrassed in public like this, just let me know, or sign up with a pseudonym. Thank you guys, you are making this even more fun than it would already be, because I don't have to justify the existence of this sordid little hobby to my business partner who wishes I would spend time on things that actually make money for the business, because now it does, even if it's just a little bit. So thank you. You've made my life so much easier. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys about is that due to pressure from audiences for my other podcast, I am blogging my daily experience writing a book that has been scaring me for 6 years now, scaring me away from writing it. I'm finally tackling it and blogging the experience of writing it every day, including the days when I screw up and don't get any writing done because I'm sick or lazy or busy with other things. And you can follow that and see what it's like for me to struggle through a book that scares the ever-loving crap out of me on my blog at jdsawyer.net. I try to make the posts as amusing as possible and sometimes post pictures of my dog and other interesting things in the local environment here. And that's been quite a bit of fun, and it's helped me get through the first 40,000 words of this monstrous tome that I was hoping was going to run 120, but it looks like it's going to probably run 160,000 words. And then there's 2 more books in the series after that to write. That's my big project for the year. It's been hanging over me for a long time, and I'm finally getting to it, and it feels really good. So, all that out of the way, we finally get to today's question. This one comes from Melisa. She says, "Any chance you're coming out to any conventions on the East Coast in the near future? I'd love to get a chance to buy you a drink." Well, I am always down for getting a drink. And if I'm driving, I'll accept iced tea instead of scotch. So that would be fantastic. I make it out to Balticon on Memorial Day weekend whenever I can. It seems that whenever I can is every 3 to 4 years. I won't be there this year. I'm going to try to be there next year. We're really hoping the finances line up that we can actually do a road trip across the country with Balticon as the destination at one end, because it's been about 10 years since I've done a road trip across the country, and I'd like to see how everything has changed in that amount of time, because evidently it's changed a lot. A lot of cities in the Midwest growing like crazy these days. It's not an exciting answer, but it was a legitimate question, and I wanted to make sure it got answered, so here you go at the tail end of a sort of businessy, updatey podcast thing. And that's about it, except that I wanted to let you guys know that I've also started loading the NanoCast, this podcast, up to YouTube. For those of you that like to listen to episodes in quick succession in the background, like at work or something, there's a playlist at YouTube for NaNoWriMo every month, and I update it, and it drops on the same schedule as this podcast does, though occasionally it gets a little bit behind. So if you're looking for another way to get this podcast running through your brain and causing the requisite amount of havoc, go to YouTube, search for NaNoWriMo every month, and you'll find it. Anyway, it's good to be back, and I'll see you tomorrow. NaNoWriMo Every Month is written and presented by J. Daniel Sawyer and produced by Artistic Whispers Productions. Visit our website at NaNoWriMoEveryMonth.com and leave a tip in the tip jar or join the Patreon to support this podcast. NaNoWriMo Every Month is copyright 2016 by J. Daniel Sawyer and Artistic Whispers Productions and is released under a Creative Commons Non-Commercial Attribution No Derivatives license.